Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I've been asked recently to do some more DesignSpark mechanical tutorials, and as I mentioned in my last video, I did about a dozen of them 3 to 4 years ago, and a lot of the stuff that I covered then is still relevant today, but DesignSpark Mechanical has kind of changed their whole they've gone to kind of a subscription model now. They still have a free Explorer version, I guess they call it, but it's very limited. It's even more limited than it was with version 5. But I'm on version 6.03, and I wanted to do another tutorial video today. And I'm going to start out with some settings, which is also kind of a review. If you watched my videos from 3 to 4 years ago, this is still kind of the same stuff, but I thought I would just refresh it a little bit and show you what I'm talking about here. So let's bring in the DesignSpark Mechanical page. I've already got it open here, and here's what I'm talking about. They have the free Explorer, which, like I said, is very limited. This is the version I have, Creator. It's mine is actually $11.99 a month. I've had it for well over 2 years, and they've never gone up on my price. So I guess maybe that's how they do it. They stick with whatever, when you subscribe, whatever the monthly rate is, it's that from now on, or at least I hope that's the way it is. I don't know. And then of course they have the engineer model for just under 20 bucks there. So, but anyway, one of the things I wanted to show you, because when you download this software, and I hope if you're watching these and genuinely want to learn how to use DesignSpark Mechanical for some 3D modeling and things, I hope that you will download, either whether you get a subscription or not, or whether you get the free one, it doesn't matter. But I hope that you'll draw along with me here on these, and it'll really help you to learn. I go at a real slow pace, and you'll see that I try to cover every little thing. And I think it'd be very beneficial if you can watch the video, maybe watch it the first time, and then come back and with either your free trial version or your subscription or whatever you end up getting, and try to draw along with me. I will have, for all the little projects that I do for these tutorials, I'll have PDF files that are available in the video description where you can download those and print it out, and you'll have a print and you'll see exactly what I'm drawing, and you can follow along real easily with that. So, but first, before we get started in that, let's take a look at some of the settings. You'll notice, I think this is the way it comes by default, because I deleted that start screen, and you see how the screen is real white. And I can tell you from experience, sitting at a desk and drawing on a computer, even using SolidWorks or whatever for 8-10 hours a day, you don't want to stare at a white screen. So one of the questions I always get is, why did it make my screen look different, or how did I get it to look different? So if we come here to the file and then come down here, which is kind of an oddball place to put this if you ask me, but anyway, that's where they decided to put it. But it says DesignSpark Options, and you click on this. If I go to Appearance, you can see that here is the color of the screen I've selected. Mine is sky blue, and this is much easier on the eyes. Your eyes will get a lot less tired when you're drawing for a few hours and looking at that light blue. But they also have, if I show it here, you can see they have all kinds of colors. So you can pick your poison there, whatever color background you want. Doesn't matter to me. Or if you don't mind the white, that's fine too. I just never was a big fan of the white. So let me go ahead and create a new design file, and then you can see what mine looks like. So mine by default is this sky blue color. So wanted to show that, and again, that was in the Appearance tab in the settings. Another thing you'll want to do before you get going too far into this is come back to that options, and you want to set up your units. I like to draw in imperial or inches, so that's how I have mine set up. And you notice that this says this document, but it is set up, or if I come here and set it for all new documents, you see it still stays the same. It's the imperial, so that's what I have. Now you want to select whatever you're going to draw the most in, because if you're like me, sometimes you'll draw in metric, sometimes you'll draw in imperial, but you want to make it easy to go back and forth. But what I normally draw in is imperial, so I leave it set on imperial. Okay, if I come up here, I'll just draw any old thing real quick, and you see right there it says 225, and you see the inch thing. So by default, it's always going to draw in inches because, again, that's the way I have it set up. Now, if I open up a second file here, and let's say on this one I want to draw in millimeters, I can go ahead and start the drawing, and there you see it's in inches, and then I can come back to that section here where the options are and hit units, and you notice it'll say this document. So in other words, if I want to change it to metric, it's going to let me draw in metric, but just for this document. So now you see when I clicked OK, it changed this one to millimeters. And again, if I come and open up yet another one and start drawing another file, now you can see I'm back to inches because that's what my default is. So it's real easy to go back and forth if you want to change it to metric, or vice versa. If you're drawing in metric and want to go to inches, just change it and tell it just this document only, and then it won't mess up your default, whatever you have going on there. Another thing we need to talk about is how to set up the grid. You can see all these little squares here. So if we come back to the options, DesignSpark options, we can set up the grid while we're here in the units. If we scroll down, since I like imperial dimensions, I have mine set where the little squares are 1/8 inch, and then I also have it where the major lines every 8 inches, so that would make from one major line to the next, that would be 1 inch. So, if you're doing metric, you might do 1 millimeter here and then 10 for the major grid lines or something like that. But it's real easy to set up that. Another thing we should talk about is the support files. I can't stress enough how important it is to back up your work. So you can see I have mine set up to back up every 15 minutes. And trust me, once you get the hang of this, you can do a lot of work in 15 minutes. And if you have this set too far and the power goes out or something, you're going to end up having to redo a lot of work. So it's always good to have this set. And I always tell people that when you create a new file like this, don't get very far along. Like whatever you're doing, go ahead and hit this, save it where you want, and in the folder where you're working, and give it the name you want and all that. And then that way, every once in a while, all you got to do is come over here and hit that little floppy disk icon for the save. And if you get in the habit of doing that, you'll never lose any work, or at least won't lose very much. But anytime you do any kind of, add a feature or do something, just get in the habit of going over there and hitting that save thing there, and that way you'll end up being a happy camper, I can tell you. Okay, so another thing while we're in here, let's look at it. One other thing, if we go to the popular tab, which is right here at the top, you'll see that it has the rendering quality. I have mine set on 5, and you can see when I drop this down, that's right in the middle. It goes from 1 to 10, and then also has a custom here. But you can see how it's saying, starting to get in the red in 8, 9, and 10, because you better have a super duper graphics card if you want to try to run that high. So I have left mine at 5. That's what it is by default, I think. And it's always worked fine. So I've never had an issue with the graphics or anything. And my computer seems to handle it just fine. Another thing that's also in this popular tab, and I would recommend keeping on, is this little box here where it says show the tool tips. It won't show them now until I cancel out of here, but what that is when you hover over a thing, it drops that little tool tip down there and tells you what that's going to do. And even though I already know what it's going to do, I've always just left it on because it's good to some of these smaller icons. Sometimes I'll forget and go, okay, now where's the one I'm looking for? And you just hover over it and the tooltip drops down, and it makes it easy where you can see what you're doing. One other thing I might add, if I turn this start page back on and you come back up here to the help resources up here, there's something you might want to look at is this quick reference card. And let's see, it opened it up over here, so let me move it back here. But this is something good to print out because it's got some of the shortcuts and different things, so this is pretty helpful too when you're first getting started on that. So you might want to check that out as well. Okay, one other thing I want to talk about before we get started drawing a little part is DesignSpark Mechanical actually has two kind of methods you can use. If you look up here on the top, and I'll read these across here in case you have trouble reading them, but it says File, Design, Display, Measure, Detail, and then the Help Resources. And I'm pretty sure, I think this is the default method that when you install it, I think you'll be where it's like this. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's another thing they have. It also has where you can use, you come to the DesignSpark options, you come to the advanced, and you see this top box here. It says enable constraints-based sketching. And then it says a restart required. So if you want to turn that on, you would put a check in that box, hit OK, and then it reminds you again that it has to be restarted before those updated settings will be applied. And I do think it's kind of odd is it doesn't automatically turn it off and bring it back on for you. You have to exit out of this and then come back and open it again. Okay, now if you take a look up there, you can see that there's an added thing. It says File, Sketch, Design, Display, Measure, Detail, and Help. So this is the constraint sketching function where the sketch tools are over here and not over here in the design like the other screen I just showed. And again, the reason I'm bringing this up is most of the tutorials that I do, at least to start with, are going to be with the other screen. So if you're wanting to follow along and you know, draw along, make sure that you have yours set up so that you don't have this sketch tab showing. And if it is, you want to come back here to the options, go to advanced, and uncheck that box, hit OK, and then restart your computer. Okay, now you can see that it's back and that sketch tab is now gone. And the reason I wanted to emphasize this is because, like I said, if you're going to try to follow along with me and I'm drawing it this way and you're trying to do something with that sketch pad on, or the sketch tools, I'll get it here in a minute, the restraint sketch tools, you'll have a hard time following along. You'll get lost because we're not on the same page here. So for these first few tutorials, now I will cover something about the constraint sketching, but that'll be way on down the line. There's a lot we can do right here like this. And I don't think it'll be a problem, because I think when you download this and install it, I think the default is like this. But I could be wrong. But I just wanted to point that out to make sure that you're using the same screen or settings that I am when you're trying to follow along with me. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this one. I hope that when you get your free trial of DesignSpark Mechanical or whatever, subscription, free trial, whatever you decide to go with, that you will get it downloaded okay and get your settings set up. And in the next video, we'll be ready to start some projects. And I wanted to mention, if y'all would, if you're going to follow along with these videos, please leave comments down below in the comment section and give me ideas for something you'd like to make, maybe something you'd like to make but you don't know how to draw it. And I will use those suggestions as the projects rather than just drawing some widget out of a book like I did 3 or 4 years ago. Some of the projects I did then were things I actually used, but a lot of them were just out of a book showing you how to do the revolve and, different features. But no matter what the project is, I can find enough different things to show you the different features in DesignSpark Mechanical. And then at the end of the day, when you've learned how to draw that part, you'll have something you can actually use. So yeah, do me a favor and put your comments down below on what you'd like to see me model. All right, well, we're going to get out of here. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.